equals the takeover of the healthcare industry by the United States government. This is not my opinion. This is not the opinion of others that I have regurgitated. It is fact. The only way that the Clinton healthcare plan succeeds with universal coverage is the employer mandate. And to get there means to get to the socialization of the healthcare industries in this country and put them under the auspices of the United States government. What's the problem with universal coverage? The problem with universal coverage is that it does not have bipartisan support, and Moynihan's committee needs bipartisan support for whatever plan they have in order to get it out. In order to get enough votes for this thing to win, because of the makeup of the committee, there's going to have to be some bipartisan support, which there isn't for universal coverage on the committee. In fact, there is a source close to the process who's unidentified, quoted in the paper today as saying there is no bipartisan agreement on employer mandates within the committee. But without employer mandates, you cannot have universal coverage. So you say, well, why is Moynihan doing this? There's a rift, I'm convinced, I don't know what it is, goes back. And the reason that this is going to be a challenge to Clinton is that he said in his State of the Union address that he would veto any health bill that did not contain universal coverage. He'd veto it. Well, it looks like if I'm right, if the Senate Finance Committee is the committee to watch on all this, because you got Kennedy's committee out there, but and you've got a new proposal coming from House Ways and Means today with a new chairman, Sam Gibbons, and it's moderately different, but it's pretty much in the line of what Clinton wants. All these committees, there appears to be some bipartisan support where the Republicans enter the fray. In the Finance Committee, there is no bipartisan support for employer mandates. That's as it should be. I want to take you back to 1990 and the infamous now 1990 budget deal. What was the central piece of the 1990 budget deal? What politically enabled the 1990 budget deal to happen? Anybody want to take a guess in there? There was one political reality that without it, the 1990 budget deal would not have occurred. That's right. Mike Mamone, broadcast engineer, gets it halfway. Bush reneged on his pledge never to raise taxes. They needed a budget deal. They were down to shutting down the government. They were getting close to it, if you recall. And George Mitchell, who is the most partisan man in Washington, D.C., the Senate majority leader, the most partisan man, said the only way we will talk to you about this, Mr. Bush, is if you, the only way we'll negotiate with you is if you drop this business of no new taxes in the bill. Because we can't do it without taxes, which is the Democrats' constant refrain. We can't do anything without taxes. We can't go to the bathroom without a tax increase in the Democratic handbook. So they went to Bush and they said, we're not going to negotiate with you on any aspect of the 1990 budget deal until you get rid of your tax pledge. And Bush did it, as we all now know, in the interests of cooperation, getting along with the Democrats, and advancing the process forward. So I think it's time for tit for tat. I think that if the Republicans are going to become part of this whole Democratic health care plan, then it's time to exact a little revenge and play some smart politics at the same time. It is time for Bob Dole to go to Bill Clinton, just as George Mitchell did, and say, Mr. Clinton, Mr. President, we'll be glad to talk to you about your health care plan as long as you renounce this demand for universal coverage. As long as you renounce your demand for the employer mandate, we'll talk to you. Do the same thing. It's time for a political quid pro quo here. And in the process, it's the right thing to do, because we do not want the socialization of 1/7 of the U.S. economy, do we? No. We don't want the federal government taking over the healthcare business and industries in this country. Hell, they're already starting to give away credit cards to food stamp and welfare recipients. It's just, these are not the people to turn it over to. Story in the Wall Street Journal today. Some guy's done some research. You know all the sob stories that Clinton has dragged forward in his town meetings? These people here and these people. This guy has done some follow-up on the status of these people. Most of their problems have been fixed. Most of them have gotten insurance where they claim to not have it. They moved or whatever. The few that haven't are ones that wouldn't be anyway. Stroke, cerebral palsy, there's nothing you can do but sympathy for them. Most of these cases, these heartstring-tugging cases that the president has brought forth, have been fixed. And there's not a government health care plan that's done it. Private sector has done it. So it's most fascinating. Now, why am I concerned? Well, because Bob Dole shows no inclination of doing this, ladies and gentlemen. Bob Dole shows the inclination of doing just the opposite. Senator Dole is aligned, it seems, with the Chafee plan on the Republican side, which features individual mandates. It's a little semantic term, but it's much the same. It makes you buy your own insurance rather than makes your employer buy it for you. It requires you to buy your own insurance, and then also requires you to pay taxes on your health care benefits that you get above and beyond whatever your insurance costs are. The dangerous thing about this is that while Senator Dole, the Republican leader in the Senate, appears to be aligned with the universal coverage conception, we look at the Democrats in the Congress and find that many of them are fleeing the plan that they sponsored. Dianne Feinstein, Senator California, known otherwise as the popular Di-Fi, while mayor of San Francisco, has fled the plan. She was a co-sponsor. She's fled the plan. Now, why do you think that is? Well, reality has set in. She's going to have an opponent, a serious opponent, Michael Huffington, out in California in her re-election bid this fall. And she can read the tea leaves. They know they can see that the country is moving right on this health care plan. They don't want much of the ingredients in it that are known, thanks to people like me and other radio talk show hosts who have done more to educate the people about what's in a health care plan than most of the other press has. And then we have the case of Louise Slaughter. Now, if you haven't heard this is fascinating. Louise Slaughter is a liberal Democrat, represents Rochester, New York. In her district is located Kodak, Xerox, and a number of other high-tech industries. Louise Slaughter is one of President Clinton's biggest supporters. She, too, was a co-sponsor of the now infamous Health Security Act. But she had a little problem. Little tiny itsy-bitsy problem. In September of 1993, Congressperson Slaughter said that the Clintons' health care plan was a magnificent step forward. She was enthusiastic. And she gave it all kinds of praise in various appearances. But this year, she's changed her tune. She says, I haven't been pushing a Clinton health care plan. I've been trying to explain it. I'm trying to make sure we in Rochester don't get hurt by it, is her latest utterance. Oh, really? How could the people in Rochester get hurt by it? That intrigued me. How could the people of Rochester get hurt by a plan that she co-sponsored and was all for a year ago? Guess what? Kodak, Xerox, and other high-tech industries have health care plans that have succeeded in containing costs. They don't need to be reformed. They don't need to be stripped away. They don't need to be wiped out. They don't need to be done away with, which the Clinton health care plan would do, more likely than not. So Louise Slaughter has asked her friend, Hillary Rodham Clinton, to have Rochester exempted from the Clinton health care plan should it pass. She wants a waiver. And guess what? Congressperson Slaughter is saying that Mrs. Clinton has agreed that Rochester should get a break. Why? Again, because they have health care plans at Xerox and Kodak that have contained costs. They don't need the Clinton health care plan. Do you know what this means? It means that nobody needs it. It means that the private sector can do it, is doing it. People are satisfied. It's hunky-dory. Everything's okay. And the Clintons are willing to exempt it in order to get her vote. Here comes the hypocrisy. She'll vote for the plan, even though knowing it's not good for her district. More than likely, she would do that. That's the quid pro quo. So you got Democrats leaving the thing in droves, in one district in New York admitting that it's not good for her own district. And now you've got the Republicans going haywire with Oliver North and haywire on health care. And you got Senator Daniel Patrick Moynihan, a Democrat, who's trying to put the screws to Clinton's own plan in his own bill. He's a Democrat. Who's who anymore? This is confusing. But not to me. I understand it. I'm explaining it to you, and you should get it clearly now. This is amazing stuff to watch, folks. Bottom line is, is that the Republicans ought to convince Dole to go to Clinton and say, all right, you want a health care plan that you can go out and say is yours? No, if everything's fine, you get rid of universal coverage. Get rid of the employer mandate, and we'll negotiate with you. We'll join you. Then we'll get into bipartisanship. Because that's what separates the two parties, or at least it should. The liberal Democrats, it's totally understandable. They'd want to expand government, get government as much involved in your life as possible. It's not understandable why Republicans want any part of that. But they appear to. We'll be back right after this. Well, folks, you won't believe what's going on here. My office at the EIB building has been inundated with teddy bear grams from the Vermont Teddy Bear Company. We got all kinds of bears here. And they're customized, too. We even got one with a microphone that says, "See, I told you so." It's got a button that says that on it. Well, I did tell you so. Vermont Teddy Bear grams are an expressive, personal, fun way to let somebody know that you're thinking about them. It's a great way to say happy birthday, or congratulations on your new job, or I love you, or hope your marriage is everything you want it to be. And bride and groom bears bring best wishes for a new life together, too. I can tell you from firsthand experience, a Vermont Teddy Bear gram has impact, and it makes a lasting impression. We're sitting on my desk the other day. I walked and said, what are those? I said, Vermont Teddy Bears. Already gotten 2 of them in one day. Call 800-829-BEAR. Talk to a bear counselor. Find out just how many options are available when you send the unique Vermont Teddy Bear gram. That's 800-829-BEAR. Send somebody a teddy bear gram today. You'll not regret it. 1-800-829-BEAR.
If you are in business or have children in school, then this message is for you. This is Kevin Trudeau, founder of the American Memory Institute. Imagine you or your children with a virtual photographic memory and being able to remember names and faces, facts and information, telephone numbers, things to do, and more. Students get straight A's with less study time. Call 1-800-862-MEGA and see why over 2 million people have already benefited from the easy-to-learn Mega Memory Home Study course. That's 1-800-862-MEGA. 1-800-862-MEGA.
The 1994 blowout sale continues at Leith Chrysler, Plymouth, Jeep Eagle, Leith Dodge Isuzu. Just $94 over invoice now on Plymouth and Dodge Colts and Eagle Summits. Just $94 over invoice and all these models in stock. You can also choose from over 150 program cars, both 93 and 94 models available. And the success of the blowout sale means the used car inventory is growing day by day. Save now during the big 1994 blowout sale at Leith Chrysler, Plymouth, Jeep Eagle, Leith Dodge Isuzu, Highway 70 west of Goldsboro.
Something exciting is about to happen. Get a pencil ready because in a moment we're going to give you the number for your connection to Internet. The Information Highway available from Interpath.
The Information Highway is here today. Imagine being able to reach out to the confines of your home, school, or office to obtain information from 20 million people worldwide on virtually any subject. Your connection is the Internet, the Information Highway that knows no boundaries. Talk to people anywhere with email. Send and receive data or graphics through your Internet connection. Interpath will link you to these Internet resources. Reach out today. Call Interpath.
Are you ready for that number now? It's 1-800-849-6305 for your connection to Internet. Call Interpath today. That number again is 1-800-849-6305. 1-800-849-6305.
Dear Hooked on Phonics, I am the headmaster of Greenfield Hebrew Academy. After seeing your commercial on television, I ordered Hooked on Phonics for my daughter, who's in kindergarten. 3 months later, she was so proud that she could read. Hooked on Phonics is easy to follow, interesting, and stimulating. It has grabbed my daughter's attention, kept it, and taught her to read. I am definitely hooked on phonics. Thank you, Rabbi J. Neufeld.
To learn about Hooked on Phonics, call 1-800-ABCDEFG. Results vary.
Our telephone number is 800-282-2882. We go to Westminster, Maryland. James, you're up first on the EIB Network.
Rush, mega dittos from Westminster. It's a pleasure to speak with you, and congratulations on your recent wedding. And just pray that will be a blessing to both of you.
Thank you very much.
Just wanted to get to the point, as Bo asked me to. wanted to voice my dismay at the response of Republican leadership with the recent nomination of Oliver North as the Republican nominee for Senate.
What are you doing, an Ed Koch impersonation there?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, not on purpose.
Okay, all right, just checking.
I'm from Long Island originally, but
That explains it. That explains it.
most people can't hear the accent. But
No, it's not that. It's the in fact, do we have Koch, when Koch was first asked about me, I had been in town only about 6 weeks. We'll find it. We'll show you what I mean.
okay.
Because as soon as we find it here, because Koch was asked what he thought about me, and it took him a little while to explain his opinion, but
To get right to the point.
yeah.
Well, bottom line is that I'm somewhat dismayed at the response of Senator Dole and some of the other Republican leadership. I mean, the people of the Republican Party, or at least the delegates of the Republican Party of the state of Virginia, have spoken with a clear majority. Oliver North did what he had to do to get the nomination, and I just don't understand why they won't get behind this man, why they won't give him the benefit of the doubt.
I think I understand it. I'll explain it to you. But first, I want to play for you what Ed Koch said when he was asked about me.
Let me finish. I want to repeat to you. That's all I can say.
And I was, of course, gratified to get, because that's high praise from the former mayor. James, let me tell you, I think there are a lot of reasons why there is this reaction to Colonel North's victory in Virginia, and I'm afraid to say that I think a lot of it boils down to class lines. Just as feminists don't care about Paula Jones because she's, in their view, a small-town hick little girl from Arkansas, not an Ivy Leaguer. I think Oliver North and his group, the people who voted for him, are not viewed as high enough class for some of these Republican people, and I think it goes deeper than that. I think it's the whole Republican Party's problem. You know, for 5 years, I have been asking you to call Verbal Advantage to learn how you can have the dynamic vocabulary you need for success. Thousands of people have called. Now, here's the bottom line, my friends. Verbal Advantage audio cassettes work big time. Now it's your turn to call. Don't wait another 5 years or even 5 minutes. Learn more, call now. 1-800-28-TAPES. That's 1-800-28-TAPES for Verbal Advantage.
This is WGBR News, Goldsboro's very own.
This is Wayne Alley. The House Agriculture Subcommittee with jurisdiction over tobacco will hold a hearing in Goldsboro Saturday on federal policies affecting tobacco farmers and the Tobacco Support Program. Congressman Martin Lancaster said witnesses for the hearing will include Senator John Carr of Goldsboro, Representative Charles McLawhorn of Winterville, Tom Parrish of Monk Austin International of Farmville, Atlas Price of Seven Springs, Dean Rouse of Seven Springs, Jerry West of Fremont, and Robert Halstead of Ayden, all of whom are tobacco producers. Congressman Charlie Rose, the chairman of the Agriculture Subcommittee on Specialty Crops and Natural Resources, will preside. Rose declared that nowhere is tobacco more important to the lifeblood of a state's economy than in North Carolina, and nowhere is tobacco more important to a local economy than in and around Goldsboro. The hearing begins at 9 a.m. Saturday in Wayne Community College's main auditorium. 3 questions regarding school district lines were put to Wayne County Board of Education last night by Steve Francis in behalf of Wayne County Citizens for Community Schools. But the school board did not answer any of the questions. Board Chairman Peggy Massengill told the group her board will prepare answers and return those answers in written form. The group asked if the school board's going to redraw school district lines. If the lines are redrawn, how does the school board plan to redraw those lines? And based on the answer to that question, the Community Schools group wanted to know the school board's justification for believing this decision will improve the quality of education in Wayne County schools. Superintendent Darren Flowers said it's the board's responsibility to gather facts and study the information before determining future needs. Flowers declared the biggest danger is if individual board members speak for the full board. Flowers observed that the only time the board functions is when it officially acts, so no individual can speak for the full board. Writing test scores of Wayne County Public School students in grades 4, 6, and 8 showed an overall increase of more than 14% for 4th grade students, more than 16% for 6th graders, and an overall increase of more than 8% for 8th grade students. Wayne School Superintendent Darren Flowers cited 15 major areas of improvement in education last night after he was presented the resolution of appreciation for nearly 4 decades of service. He said all of our schools have been networked with technology, which is the first step in making them ready for the 21st century. Administrative workshops have been held to give principals and central office administrators knowledge and understanding of computers. Flowers was honored at the last school board meeting before his retirement at the end of the month. I'm Wayne Alley. This is Wayne Alley from the WGBR News Desk. A spokesperson for Wayne County Schools says there is a water problem at Northeast Elementary School. Therefore, Northeast Elementary will close today at 12:30. Again, Northeast Elementary School has no water and will close today at 12:30. This is Wayne Alley from the WGBR News Desk.
WGBR. Rush Limbaugh.
The saga continues.
It's the EIB Network and Rush Limbaugh, the Limbaugh Institute for Advanced Conservative Studies, Cleveland, Ohio. Craig, you're up next.
Mr. Limbaugh, I have a question concerning intellectual honesty.
Yes.
Specifically, sir, your intellectual honesty.
Ooh.
And also, you know, about being consistent.
Yes.
With your notion or tenet that, or tenet, however you say that.
Tenet.
That character cannot be separated from leadership.
Yes.
Okay, Bill Clinton, of whom I'm in no way a fan or supporter, has some, would you say, glaring character flaws?
Maybe.
Okay, the electorate, you know, all 42% of them.
43.
Okay, I'll give him that. Obviously overlooked him deliberately during the '92 election. But at the same time, sir, Oliver North lied to Congress, to the very institution he's seeking election.
So what?
But beyond lying to Congress...
Well, wait a minute. Wait just a minute. I'm not talking about the lying here. Would somebody explain to me what is so god-awful, horrendously bad about lying to Congress? Lying to Congress is worse than lying to your wife. Lying to Congress is worse than lying to your best friend. Lying to Congress is worse than lying to your dog. What the hell is so sacrosanct about that bunch?
Well, then what's the
If
difference?
there's ever a bunch of guys to lie to, it's them. Give them a dose of their own medicine, for crying out loud. These are the biggest hypocrites in the world. Talk about liars, they define the term.
Okay, well, then
so
why
lying to Congress, I'm not defending lying, but I'm saying, why is it that Congress is completely such hallowed ground? If you lie to Congress, it's worse than lying to God, for crying out loud in some people's view.
Well, then why can't Clinton...
Well, I think he would want to go to Congress to reform this stupid place.
Well, why can't Clinton... Okay, if North can lie to Congress, why can't Clinton lie to Congress about his economic plan, about his health care plan, about Jennifer Flowers, about Whitewater? Why can't Clinton lie to Congress, too?
No, wait. This is, you're going to do me the Ed Koch deal again.
No Ed Koch. No ums. You got to be consistent.
I will be consistent.
A lie's a lie.
A lie is a lie.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is, sir.
However, it is not part of Oliver North's character.
How can that not be part of his character?
Give me an example of one other lie.
Okay, let me think here. Okay, well, beyond the lying, you can also claim...
No.
I'm kind of lying.
You comparing him to Clinton, where everything's a lie. Read Woodward's book. It's not even a lie. They don't even know what he believes half the time. You could honestly make the case Clinton isn't lying because every day he changes his mind. They know what he believes.
Okay, but...
Now, Oliver North goes to Congress. He thinks he's doing the work of the administration. He thinks that he has been engaged in activities that are, if not expressly directed, that are desired by his administration. He knows that the Congress of the United States has been doing everything they can to thwart the efforts and desires of his commander-in-chief. And so he goes up there with an attempt to hornswoggle them. Later admitted what he did, blatantly came before the committee and said, yeah, I did it. He was a fall guy, as it turns out. And that's what he knew, and that's what he admitted to.
So how is
this is not a repeat pattern or personality characteristic of Oliver North.
Okay. What about the $15,000?
I'm not comfortable with the fact he did it, by the way. I'm not comfortable with it. But I don't think that you can draw character comparisons to Oliver North and Bill Clinton. See, that's what I said at the beginning of the program. North, man, everybody loved Ollie North when he was in Vietnam, taking his troops up the hill. Everybody loved Oliver North when he was in the trenches facing gunfire, placing his life on the line. Everybody loved Ollie North when he was trying to get American hostages back, trying to capture terrorists in midair. Everybody loved Oliver North when he's doing your dirty work for you. When he's getting dirty and he's getting sweaty and he's doing the grunt work, everybody loved Ollie North. But now he puts on a coat and tie. Now he wants to be a member of Congress, the United States Senate, and all of a sudden he's not good enough for people?
No, he's not. And you're obfuscating the issue. You're making this into, instead of an ad hominem attack, you're glorifying North, like in the opposite, whatever the opposite of an ad hominem attack is. Okay, Clinton doesn't have a military record. That's pretty egregious what he did. But that doesn't mean just because North served with distinction in Vietnam that he's not, a liar today. It has no reflection on what he is today. Look, $15,000 that North had in cash, and he kept it in a safe, hidden in his closet. This was all documented in Reader's Digest. And if you're going to discredit Reader's Digest as a source, 2 months later, they basically spilled all the beans on Janet Reno as being a status seeker and someone who shouldn't be Attorney General.
I am not disputing what you say. Okay. I know what Oliver North did, and I know what he didn't do. I also know that he won the primary. He won it democratically. He won it going away, and he is the Republican nominee. And I think that the Republican Party fleeing from him, or the certain members of the Republican Party fleeing from him, is a grave error for the party.
Okay, well, see...
Do you think that the Senate, with such characters as Dave Durenberger and Ted Kennedy and Dan Rostenkowski in the House, is an unfit place for Oliver North?
Well, actually, on an intellectual level, no. And I thank God for Ted Kennedy. I thank God for John Glenn. I thank God for Dan Rostenkowski. Glenn being with the Keatings, lest we forget, because they have proven that whatever side of the aisle, there are thieves and there are crooks, and that there is no moral, what do you always call that, moral imperative or moral distinction between most Republicans and Democrats. I'm sorry. I mean, neither party walks any kind of moral high road. There's crooks, there's thieves, and there's lowlifes, on both sides of the aisle, period. And with North, I mean, my God, North had $15,000. He said that he started this rainy day fund. He wanted to buy a new car. And he took all the change out of his pockets every day after work, and he put it in there. And poof, he has $15,000. And it's like, you're kidding me. Basically, he was accused, in not too many words, of skimming money from the Contra fund. And it's like,
Hold it just a second.
Yes, sir.
He was accused, you just said. Would you find for me 1 penny of this money that ostensibly was skimmed and went to the Contra? That's the big bugaboo in all this. They can't find the money. Nobody knows. The Contras never got it. North never got it. Casey never got it. Nobody knows where that money is.
Okay, well,
but don't say there that he was accused of skimming, but there's no evidence. He didn't take any money. They got $14,000 for security fence.
Yeah.
People were trying to wipe his family out, for crying out loud.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the cash that he had stashed in his house and later was found out about, and that he said he was, he's basically saving pocket change for 10 years. Boy, that's a lot of pocket change. But more importantly, it's like, where did that money come from, and why, when he applied for a loan, he didn't list it as an asset, and he never paid taxes on it? Amazing. And it's like, okay, I can't prove that, but I also can't prove that Clinton never slept with Jennifer Flowers, and I can't prove that what Clinton did with Paula Jones, but geez, there's a hell of an implication there. And if you use your imagination, and if you look at the character of the men...
Let's not compare apples to apples. If you're going to talk dollars, let's talk dollars. And I think Clinton doesn't come up smelling like too big a rose when compared to Oliver North on dollars. But
they're equally egregious. That's the whole point, Rush.
No, I do not believe that, sir. And I'm not comfortable with North's lying. I've never defended his lying, but I'm trying to put it in perspective. We have a situation in this country today where a lot of lying is excused if Democrats do it, And if they're look at the press defending Rostenkowski. Oh, what a tragedy that such a great guy as Rusty may have to leave town. And at the same people are going, oh, what a scumbag Oliver North is. 'Cause there's a missing sense of proportion here, and I'm not at all ashamed to point that out and to suggest to you that when it comes to mettle, character, strength, that we may be dealing with a unique guy in Oliver North. Now, his tactics may upset people. They may not like the way he goes around and courts people. They may not like the way he is. I mean, look, he's a conservative, and he's taken on government. He's just right out of the, in one sense, he's using the same language Perot uses, only tougher, same philosophy, just tougher language. He's running against Washington. Everything going on there is corrupt and bad. And people say, why would he want to go to a place he detests? You go to clean it up, for crying out loud. You go to try to make it better or try to improve it. I don't understand this thinking, he lied to Congress. Why would he want to join an institution he holds in such contempt? Maybe because he cares about it. Wants to straighten it out. Anyway, he's a controversial figure, and he inspires views which end up being polarized. But I do think that there are differing degrees here, and a sense of proportion must be applied. Gotta go. Quick break. Back after this.
You're listening to the EIB Network.
Dear Hooked on Phonics, I am the headmaster of Greenfield Hebrew Academy. After seeing your commercial on television, I ordered Hooked on Phonics for my daughter, who's in kindergarten. 3 months later, she was so proud that she could read. Hooked on Phonics is easy to follow, interesting, and stimulating. It has grabbed my daughter's attention, kept it, and taught her to read. I am definitely hooked on phonics. Thank you, Rabbi J. Neufeld.
Dear Hooked on Phonics, I was beside myself with my 7-year-old daughter. She was below average in school, and her classmates made fun of her because she couldn't read. We started Hooked on Phonics in July of '93. At this year's PTA meeting, her teacher said she showed dramatic improvement. In fact, last week she was awarded Student of the Month. She said, Mom, this is the happiest day of my life. Thank you, Hooked on Phonics.
To learn about Hooked on Phonics, call 1-800-ABCDEFG. Results vary.
Welcome to the wonderful world of Shell. Now is the new Formula Shell gasolines at the newly remodeled 117 Auto Truck Stop. Shell's cleanest burning gasolines, including the 93-octane premium. You can enjoy the most delicious food in the family restaurant and many other services such as LP gas service. Buy just the quantity you need. See for yourself the newly remodeled 117 Auto Truck Stop. Open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Now serving you with the finest Shell new Formula gasolines, Highway 117 and South George Street, Goldsboro. A service of Dumas Oil Company.
AIM Electronics, 411 East Ash Street, Goldsboro, has the scanner for you. They carry a full line of unit and Bearcat scanners, including base stations, home units, mobile units, and handheld units, too. AIM Electronics and Unit and Bearcat have the right idea. Also, get a free frequency list with any purchase of a scanner. Stop in today for a free demo on any model at AIM Electronics, 411 East Ash Street, Goldsboro, your scanner headquarters.
Knowles Carpet has been serving Goldsboro and Wayne County for over 45 years with quality installation of carpet and floor covering. Family dedication to this business has been enjoyed by thousands of customers. Joining Carpet One 5 years ago gave Knowles Carpet the additional buying power of 450 other stores to bring you the best prices available. Put it all together and it means quality floor covering and expert installation by a truly family dedicated business. Knowles Carpet, your Carpet One store, 2311 Wayne Memorial Drive, Goldsboro.
Barnes Jewelers is having their 14th anniversary sale just in time for dads, grads, brides, or any occasion. Store-wide savings up to 60% off on 10 and 14 karat gold charms, chains, and bracelets. Diamond earrings, pendants, 2- and 3-piece sets with rubies, emeralds, and sapphires up to 60% off. And a selected group of gift items 75% off during the 14th anniversary sale at Barnes Jewelers, Eastgate Drive, Goldsboro.
For special people, give something special from Barnes Jewelers.
The only information superhighway you'll ever need. It's a Rush Limbaugh program known as the Turnpike of Truth. No no left turns and no tolls, folks. 800-282-2882 to Albuquerque. This is Jay. Hello.
Hello, Rush. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
I basically wanted to get your opinion on the Bob Woodward book, which I just heard you mention. I was kind of surprised that, coming from Bob Woodward, he was pretty hard on the administration.
Interesting point. What makes you say that?
Well,
have you read the book?
I read part of the book. I haven't gotten through the whole thing yet.
Well,
but,
in the book, there is no editorial comment from Woodward. He has, when he was on 60 Minutes, he had some pretty harsh things to say.
Right.
But the book is pretty much just a recounting of what's going on. I don't find much input from Woodward as to his thoughts on it at all.
I think it was just the fact that he wrote it to begin with, that it really wasn't a really pretty picture, as he said himself.
No, it's not a pretty picture. But let me tell you, I got to tell you, there's a lot of liberal Democrats saying, what the hell is happening? Here was our golden opportunity, and you look into it, you find a White House that's in total chaos, a president who cannot make up his mind about anything, who his aides do not know what he believes from day to day. He may not know himself. You've got an ineffective chief of staff. Interesting about this book, Dee Dee Myers is not mentioned once, and she's the press secretary. She's never in on any meeting. This woman's got the hardest job in Washington. She goes out there to explain what the administration is doing. She's never in a meeting, at least in this book. You've got Mrs. Clinton, who is what everybody thought is true. She's running the show. She keeps people focused. She gets people organized. She tells people, all right, well, you just quit fooling around with all these meetings. Let's put some action into this. You've got a president who throws temper tantrums that people have come to expect so frequently they just ignore them now. You have 4 political consultants who make policy. You've got James Carville, Mandy Grunwald, Paul Begala, and Stan Greenberg as a pollster. These people are making policy. These people are sending policy memos to the administration people who are supposed to be making policy. You got Gergen disliked by everybody in the White House and not trusted, which I think is sweet justice in a sense. And you have a situation where you want to hear some excerpts. I think Carville. Let me find. Carville said something in this book, or is quoted as saying something. By the way, here's another thing. Have you ever thought about how it is that Woodward got these people to talk?
I wondered that myself.
Well, I'll explain it to you.
That would be wonderful.
But I'll tell you how he did it. The thing that's amazing, though, is here you are, you're in the White House, and here comes Bob Woodward. Watergate, Bob Woodward. Mm-hmm. And he wants to talk to you about what's going on in the White House. I think the last guy anybody in the administration wants to see who has a desire to speak to him is Bob Woodward. But they talked. You know why? I'll tell you why. Learn a quick lesson about liberals. They're the biggest backstabbing lot in the business. They know that if they don't talk to Woodward, that he'll nail them in the book. They know that if they don't cooperate with Woodward, he'll nail them somewhere else. This is protection. They're more afraid of what Woodward will do to them than what Clinton will do to them after he sees what they say about him. Now, you stop and think about it. That's what this book, I know there are going to be people who disagree with me about this, but I'm telling you, I know, folks, I have learned in my 6 short years at this, I know now how it operates. You don't play ball, you don't cooperate, and they get you. You never get into arguments with people who buy ink by the barrel. They never, ever go away. And they always, especially when they control the printing press. He's managing editor at the Post. Now, Carville, do you remember my pointing out to people that when the Clintons come up with their health care plan, it's the only plan. If you don't support it, you don't support reform. If you don't support the tax plan, you don't support the economy. Guess whose strategy that was? James Carville. Listen to this excerpt from the book, The Agenda. Carville rather suddenly indicated his preference for the nickel gas tax, breaking ranks with his fellow consultants and their recommended bold zero option. They probably needed to keep the $500 billion in deficit reduction, he said. We have to stick with something. There had been too much slipping and sliding. Administration officials and spokesmen were regularly qualifying or downplaying their support for the economic plan. No wonder the polls showed so little support for the president's plan. We aren't telling anybody anything good, Carville said, a fierce, almost ugly look of certainty and determination on his face. Why would anybody believe our plan's good? We're not telling them anything about it. He turned to a solution. Quote, my daddy used to say when we were kids, whatever we had was the best. The best. We had the best house, the best clothes. We lived in the best town. We lived in the best homes. We had the best school. I had the best sisters. Louisiana had the best soil to grow things. That was what my dad used to say. What we have to start to do with this plan is to say it's the best. It's the best thing for the economy, the best thing for the jobs, the best thing for interest rates, and be really full-throated about it. The debate, Carville said, had to be recast so that you were either for or against the plan. They had to get beyond the particulars. The answer was to say the whole plan was the change they needed and was going to be good for the economy, the best for the economy. And if you're against it, you're being against the economy. Exactly what I told you, except I was crediting the wrong guy. I thought Clinton came up with this strategy. It was James Carville that comes up with this strategy. If you're against environmentalists, you're for dirty water and dirty air. This book is replete. You've got Clinton admitting to Paul Begala 2 weeks before they vote on the economic plan. He says, quote, "My plan's a turkey." It's in the book. Clinton admits that he knows his plan is a turkey. Yes, it's in the book. I'm telling you, it is in the book. Alice Rivlin, who is one of the economic advisors, deputy budget director, tells Paul Begala that the Clinton campaign fundamentally misrepresented the deficit and could not use it now as an excuse to raise taxes. She said, you people in the campaign, you lied to the American people about the deficit. You know, we're sitting here pointing out how Clinton knew all along how big it was going to be, but was acting like he was surprised because the Bush people were so mean. Rivlin is saying to the consultants who were trying to come up with policy, you people lied. You can't use it. Here's the quote. That's nonsense, Rivlin said bluntly. Bill Clinton knew where this deficit was going. She added that they had to face the fact that the campaign fundamentally misrepresented the situation. But Begala was steaming because he's the campaign. To him, Rivlin symbolized all that was wrong with Clinton's new team of Washington hands and represented the Volvo driving, national public radio listening, wine drinking liberalism that he felt had crippled the Democratic Party for decades. This is Begala, a campaign consultant, now right before the vote on the economic plan. He tried his argument again. They needed to explain how the situation had changed. Lie. They needed to lie to the American people about how the deficit was worse than they thought it was going to be when they knew all along it was as bad as it was. Rivlin repeated herself this time, more tactfully omitting Clinton's name, but rigidly maintaining that the campaign had been dishonest and its statement untrue. Begala was astonished. I don't think Bill Clinton is a liar, he said, and got up and walked out. I'll tell you, folks, this book, you know what I love about it? For 17 months, these people have been saying that I have been partisan. My attacks are motivated by nothing more than partisanship, that I am mean-spirited, and my only purpose is to bring the president down. And you look, this administration has been doing far more of that than, and I've been exactly right about everything I have suspected about the way this administration operates. The only thing I've been wrong about is who's in charge. We'll be back.
You're listening to the EIB Network.
Today, we're going to kill bugs, coast to coast and border to border. We're Organic Plus, and we make EPA-registered Earth Smart insecticides. To kill those big, ugly roaches, put some Organic Plus insecticide in a turkey baster and just poof some of the powder right around the appliances, or under the sink, or in the areas roaches are likely to travel. To kill fleas, mix 8 tablespoons of Organic Plus to a gallon of water. Spray your yard twice, about 10 to 12 days apart. Or put Organic Plus right on your dog or your cat, even on your carpets. We kill all pesky insects. We're Organic Plus, the Earth Smart insecticide. Odorless, leaves your home, your yard uncontaminated. And we're okay to use around your children, pets, and livestock when label directions are followed. And yes, dealer inquiries aren't invited. All our products are 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Call 1-800-FIRE-ANT right now. That's 1-800-FIRE-ANT. Organic Plus.
Trust, one of the most important words in the English language. Who do you trust? Your wife? Your parents? Your kids? Sure you do. And that would be fine if you planned on never setting foot out of your house. But you're a tobacco farmer, so you're looking to trust the people you do business with and the insecticides you use on your crop. That's where Orthene 75S comes in. Orthene controls red aphids, green aphids, tobacco budworms, and hornworms. The key is to spray Orthene 75S early, before aphids can build up. And after about 72 hours, your problem should be solved. Orthene 75S protects your crop from all the major tobacco pests from plant bed to harvest. Truth is, proper season-long use of Orthene can result in an extra 300 pounds of tobacco per acre at harvest. And it's a non-restricted use product, Orthene 75S. Now that's something a tobacco farmer can trust.
Waynesboro Furniture, downtown Goldsboro, offers a variety of furniture and bedding and has special pay plans for those who need to buy now and pay later, including military E1 and up. Get quick delivery on living room, dining room, and bedroom furniture, as well as mattresses of all sizes. Price as low as $139 for the single-size set with lifetime warranties to protect your investment. Get complete details on bedding, furniture, and accessories at Waynesboro Furniture, 119 North Center Street, downtown Goldsboro. Buy there, pay there, save there. School violence. The words strike fear in the heart. Are you concerned? Of course you are. We have representatives who are available to answer your questions on coping with school violence and violence-proofing your child. Call now 1-900-773-4777. That's 1-900-773-4777. This call will cost $3.79 for the first minute and $2.29 for each additional minute. Call the Responsive Parenting Network now.
Rick James's Mary Jane Girls. Love this song. This is a big song that I was out in Sacramento in the mid-'80s. Well, not enough time here to be fair to the caller. I want to say something about Oliver North because when he announced his candidacy way back, there were the predictable usual calls. So, Rush, what do you think you're going to support him? And I said, yeah, I'll tell you what. Oliver North's like any other candidate. There are going to be people who have questions about his character, about his lying, about his past, but he should answer any and all questions about his character, about anything else, just like any other candidate. And after he does, then people should make up their minds. And that's going to happen. I guarantee you he's going to be gone over with a fine-tooth comb. And if things are found there that disqualify him, it'll come out. But it's not wise for Republicans to be killing one of their own this soon. Not at this stage.
The first time, I had to sit in my car for 5 minutes before I got up the courage to go in.
Meg Lynch has made over 300 business presentations in her career. But the first time she stepped into a classroom as a junior achievement volunteer, it still wasn't easy.
I had that knot in my stomach I used to get the first day of school. Years later, same knot, wondering if the kids would like me. When I walked in, one little girl immediately started waving her hand. Ms. Lynch, are you going to teach us about business? That's when I knew it was going to be all right.
If you have ever wondered what you could do to show kids how to expand their horizons, talk to us about the new Junior Achievement Elementary School Volunteer Program. We'll give you the training and materials. The kids will supply you with plenty of motivation. Call 1-800-THE-NEW-JA. That's 1-800-THE-NEW-JA.
They're just so thrilled you're there.
A public service announcement brought to you by Junior Achievement and the Ad Council.
WGBR, Goldsboro's very own.
From ABC News, I'm Catherine Smith.
Most studies on environmental tobacco smoke do not show an increase in risk for non-smokers that's above a margin of error.
Tom Loria of the Tobacco Institute disputing the latest findings on secondhand smoke. The American Medical Association released a study this morning. It finds that women are at risk. Elizabeth Fontham, a director of public health at the Louisiana State Medical Center, headed up the research.
Non-smoking women who had ever lived with a spouse who smoked had a 30% greater risk of lung cancer than non-smoking women without such exposure.
But the Tobacco Institute counters that the numbers are skewed.
Almost anything possibly increases your risk of an advanced mortality if it's at a strong enough dose. This, again, is being taken out of context with what we know the science to be on environmental tobacco smoke.
But the AMA went on to throw its support behind a move to get the government to regulate tobacco like drugs. The Family Research Council, a conservative think tank in Washington, is also disputing a newly released study that found that pregnancy rate has fallen 19% among sexually active teenagers. The group calls the new study irresponsible. The percentage of college women who get drunk has more than tripled in the past 15 years. One of the startling findings of a new study on campus drinking. Father Edward Malloy, the president of the University of Notre Dame, says this increase in binge drinking can have devastating consequences.
60% of college women who have acquired sexually transmitted diseases, including AIDS, were under the influence of alcohol at the time they had intercourse.
Alcohol is also involved in 90% of campus rapes, according to the study. The Senate Labor and Human Resources Committee this morning rejected an attempt to exclude abortions from a basic package of health care benefits that would have been guaranteed to all Americans. You're listening to ABC News.
This is the Kmart sale update. Temperatures may be rising, but prices at Kmart are going down. Family swimwear and colorful cotton beach towels at an incredible 30% off the regular price. Kid short sets, 25% off the regular price. If that's not hot enough, cool off with our 52-inch Hunter Mayfair decorative ceiling fan, just $69. Over 300 advertised specials, over 500 unadvertised specials. But hurry, sale ends Saturday. The Kmart sale update. You give us 30 seconds. We'll give you the best sales.
A recliner's like an island that Dad can get away to.
For 1 week only, Sears has all recliners on sale for Father's Day.
They lean back so Dad can find his natural position.
They're all on sale. Many have never been priced lower this year. All catnapper, Strata Lounger, and Action Lane recliners. Prices start as low as $177.77.
Once Dad leans back, it's good night.
Save on all recliners through Saturday at Sears Home Life Furniture and some Sears stores. Contact store for availability. Special